Yeah, I mean, it was, one, to get acknowledged, and then two, to perform the way they did. I thought it was great, to be competitive in all the events. The skills challenge, the way, Evan hit that shot, to win the Rising Stars challenge, to be on the winning side of that, and then be on the winning side of the All-Star game with our guys playing down the stretch. Darius played late into that game, and then obviously Jarrett was in guarding Embiid down the stretch. So, they carried themselves well and they represented well. I mean, you got to still remember where you came from. You know what I mean? Like, all that noise is still noise on the outside. And it shouldn't change our approach. Just because people are talking about you, doesn't give you the opportunity to let your guard down. And for us, we still have to play with that chip. We have to play with that, underdog mentality that we've had to put ourselves in the position that we're in now. And we can't rest on our laurels and think we've accomplished something. We got a lot of games left, and there's a lot on the table to be had. For us, it's the moment, right? We're not talking about 25 games from now. Like, our focus is on what we need to do every single day. And every single game is a test for us that we need to go out and perform on. And, we're a newly collected group, and this group can't afford to skip steps. So, our conversation is simply about the moment and how do we become a better basketball team now.
You spent so much time talking to you before the break about like what you wanted the guys to get out of All-Star. What did you want to get out of All-Star for you? What did you focus on there?
A break. Yeah, that's what I wanted. No, I mean, honestly, that's what it was. You know what I mean? Like, to be able to go a stretch without, games and be able to sit back and look at the big picture of what's happened and where we are and how we can improve moving forward. And, you could put all your energy into that. Honestly, it was also an opportunity to spend time with my family. My kids have not been to an All-Star game that they can remember. So being able to go to an All-Star game with them and all the events, you know what I mean? Like, we miss a lot of that because of our schedule. So being able to be there for one of your kids first, was a great experience for us as parents as well.
Where is Lowry at in his recovery, and do you expect him tomorrow against Detroit?
He's looking good, and you always wait and see how it responds the next day. But, he's progressed where he was doing everything with us today, and we'll just see what happens tomorrow and how he responds, but everything's looking good.
I know we've talked a lot about, obviously, the growth you guys have taken, but when you did get a chance to reflect, is there anything that, you were surprised about that you did maybe notice as it was happening and unfolding around you?
I mean, obviously we've talked about it a ton, with the chemistry and that type of stuff. This group, when you go back and look at it, has overcome a lot. Obviously we've had, some major injuries to key pieces. Obviously we had the COVID, situation where we were down. I mean, it ran through almost everybody in the group. But somehow, some way, this group has found a way to persevere. And I don't think that can go unnoticed. And, we make sure we talk about that. And when you go back and you're looking at, stats of games played, games missed, and all those things, you recognize we haven't been whole, the majority of the year. So, our goal is to figure out how we get whole and just how good we can be when we are.
Is there anything that Evan loses?
I haven't seen him and his brother get in a fight yet, but no, I don't know. I mean, it's some people are built for it. And you know what I mean? Like, some people in the moment just have a way. And it's almost a joke now, but you're talking about the skills challenge. like, the stretch of shots that he goes on. And then, you step back and make the half court shot on the first try. Like, in that moment, some people have a gift, and he's one of those guys.
Hey, Coach, Tom Withers, AP.
What's up, Tom?
Please say hello to Elise Larson. She's a junior from St. Joseph's Academy. She's shadowing me, and so she's had a tough day already.
I apologize. But hello.
Thanks, Coach. Hey, you said the break was nice just to take a break, but did you guys also, as a staff, get a chance to do a dissection on anything in particular? I mean, I'm sure you're evaluating everything as you do all the time, but did that give you a chance to kind of reset and evaluate some things?
Yeah, we definitely did. And that's one of the things that we talked about, tried to give the coaches a couple of days to just, rest and recoup as well. But then, depending on what side of the ball you work on, we had different projects and things like that to figure out areas where we could improve and steps that we could continue to take. So we spent a lot of time assessing where we are, and then a focus on, well, how do we make it better? Or are there things that we need to change because of new personnel and what our opponents are doing against us?
And much like earlier this year, JB, there was a lot of great things said about your team here at the break. And I know you had a juncture there where you thought guys were kind of reading their press clippings a little bit. Is there, though, a confidence that can be instilled in these guys by being told that, yeah, you guys are good and you guys have everybody's attention? Is that what you hope that comes out of that guys take what they're hearing about themselves and build on it?
I mean, to be honest with you, no. I honestly would prefer not to hear the outside noise. I would prefer to see, all of our work be done through action and less talking, because that's how we got to where we are. We didn't come in here with, these lofty expectations and people, praising us and talking highly about us. We came in here where people were, for the most part, disrespecting us. And that's the mentality that we got to continue to have. I honestly do not like, the praise and all that stuff and, people talking about us. I would prefer we fly under the radar and continue to play with a chip on our shoulder.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Marla Ridenour, Akron Beacon Journal. Yeah, JB, you said before the break that you kind of were going to look at how you were going to use Karras. Have you come to any conclusions, or is that still a work in progress?
Yeah, obviously, he and I had sat down and had some conversations about where, he's comfortable, where he likes the ball, places where he's had most success in his past. So, I think that's, we have a great understanding of how we can get it done. The next thing becomes actually going out and doing it. And, now that involves the other four guys that are on the floor with him and understanding how they build that chemistry. So, our picture is clear. We just need the experience and the minutes together to make it successful.
Are you ready to say yet if he's starting or coming off the bench?
Nope.
Just thought I'd give it a shot. One more thing. I was reading the story that Brian Windhorst wrote a couple of months ago about you guys holding up a nemacolin. When you guys came up with the big man idea, was it almost like, okay, let's just take a flyer on this? I mean, does this exceed your wildest expectations thus far?
It was initially, it started out with Jarrett and Evan, right? And we were trying to figure out how do we pair those two guys the best way that we possibly can and get the most out of it. The addition to the piece was Lowry, and that piece came later on, through preseason and training camp where, we were looking at it, and those guys were our most productive players along with Kevin Love, right? So there wasn't a way really, if our plan was to always stay big with one of our 7-foot rim protectors on the floor, to get Kevin and Lowry minutes at the backup 4. So we needed to find a way to adjust. And Lowry's flexibility gave us the ability to adjust and include all those guys and get them, all on the floor.
Thank you.
Coach talked about so much about how chemistry was built so much in the gym over the off season. Was there good attendance over the break? I mean, were guys in the gym? Was there energy? Or did guys pretty much get away?
Guys were there supporting one another. I think that was the thing that I saw, and that's what, is real. It was a genuine effort to show support for each other when you weren't even involved in the event. We saw Colin there a bunch. Jarrett was there supporting when he wasn't playing, like Derry, like go on and on and on. And I think that's what the chemistry is more so about is, guys, when they have their own opportunity to do their own thing, deciding that it's more important to go support their teammates. I think that's what we saw over the break.
And then on a personal level, when you're watching events, I don't know how you watch it, but when you're watching and you're seeing your guys do well, when you saw Evan hit that half-court shot, what's your reaction like watching at home or wherever you're watching?
I mean, it was fun, and that's what it was all about at the end of the day. It's like you want your guys to be able to enjoy it, and then you want to be able to enjoy their successes and enjoy seeing them have a good time and having fun. So, we got a chance to enjoy it, as a family and watching our guys be successful.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Last two, Chris, and then Chris in person. Oh, no, Chris. TV and then Chris in person. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, thanks. JB, Chris from Dimag. Where do you feel like Isaac is at offensively now versus where you thought he was at as a rookie?
I think he's comfortable, in who he is and how he helps us. We actually were talking about it as a staff. Like, Isaac is a talented offensive player. We've continued to make additions to this team to have kind of shifted his role a little bit, where he's got to find more of a niche off the ball. And we continue to see him do that. We were here yesterday and he was in practice and he was making plays out of the pick and roll, and it was a reminder to us, just how capable and how skilled he is, but his willingness to sacrifice to do what the team needs him to do because of the way our system is built.
And just when he ends up in the corner, it's like, and he gets left. And are you looking for him to just wait for the ball to get swung his way? Are you looking for him to cut into space when he reads the defense from that spot? Like, what are you looking for him to do when he ends up in the corner, kind of left on his own a little bit?
Initially he needs to take the shot. And that's one of the things that we've been, steadily working on with is making sure that when he's there, he's got the ability to make people pay. Because you've got to have that ability to space the floor. And then you've got to recognize what the defense is doing and where they're playing because, a lot of times from the corner, you get good position to offensive rebound when you go from there because people don't box out, or you get opportunities to cut because people turn their heads. So it's all about the spacing relative to what's in front of him and where the ball is what he has to read as well as what the defense is doing.
Thanks.
Last one, Chris.
JB, going back to Evan, he won in high school, he won in college. You guys are winning, rising stars, skills. Like, what is it beyond the fact that, some guys are just built for it? Like, what is it within his game that is so synonymous with winning?
It's a willingness to do whatever it takes in the moment to win a game. He's got a great feel for the game, and you never see him forcing the issue, right? Like, he's not trying to make something happen that's not there just because he needs to get a shot or a rebound or a block shot. Like, he is always present in the moment. And obviously he's got skills and versatility to do a lot of those things, but he genuinely just tries to win. So it's whatever is needed to be done at that time. He just tries to do that. And I think, a lot of times people get caught up in trying to manipulate the game. But he just goes and plays the game that's in front of him.